Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. A shooting yesterday at YouTube's headquarters in California wounded 3 people but left only the shooter dead. The killer was an Iranian refugee named Nassim Aghdam. Apparently, Aghdam believed that YouTube's content policies had somehow sabotaged her efforts to become a digital video star. Enraged, she drove to the company's headquarters and opened fire. That's what we know. Now let's pause for a moment and pretend this is not the 8 p.m. show on Fox News. Let's pretend it's somewhere else on the dial, maybe CNN or MSNBC or actually any other cable channel or newspaper in America. If that were true, by definition, we'd have to draw hard and fast conclusions from this tragedy using the limited fact set available. We don't really know much at this stage, but sweeping dumb generalizations are what the media do, so we would do that. And of course, we'd need a very specific script in order to make those generalizations. So what do we conclude from what happened yesterday? Well, first off, the shooter was a woman. She was female. So clearly, America has a problem with toxic femininity. And we need to address that crisis right away, starting with more university panel shaming an entire gender. Somebody alert the HR department to this. And then there's the gun. We'd focus relentlessly on the gun because nothing is more pivotal in a shooting than the weapon that was used. It's always the gun's fault. Always. The shooter in this case used a Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun. Those guns need to be banned tomorrow, along with all other assault pistols. And if you disagree with that, you're evil. Next, the shooter was a vegan and a supporter of PETA. Therefore, PETA is now a terrorist organization. Anyone who supports PETA, even those supporters who disapprove of mass shootings, is a monster and has blood on his hands. Let's hope that CNN hosts a town hall meeting where YouTube employees can scream at PETA spokesmen. They deserve to be screamed at. They caused the shooting. But wait, media outlets aren't reaching any of those conclusions. Why not? Well, because there's no obvious way to use this shooting to advance the objectives of the Democratic Party. So the media will stop talking about it soon. That's how corrupt they are. They're also incredibly stupid, especially on the subject of firearms. The people yelling at you about guns on television aren't sure what end the bullet comes out of. They're kids, they're children, with all the ignorance and moral certainty of 5th graders. We could show you a million examples of that because they're everywhere. But here's the most amusing one we've seen recently. It happened yesterday. This is MSNBC's resident genius, Nicole Wallace, mistaking the opening of a soda can for gunfire. Watch.
Steve Schmidt, I always go back to the horror of 9/11 and the complete reliance. You know, we are in our tribes, we're in our corners most of our lives. I think we just heard some gunshots. Should we listen to that for a second, control room? Is that not gunshots? Okay.
Not gunshots? No, Nicole, not gunshots. Pretty funny. But be certain to listen very carefully as she lectures you about the Second Amendment, because she knows a lot about it. Pete Hegseth is Fox & Friends weekend host. He's a former member of the U.S.